Hello, welcome. This is the Coached by Harris podcast. Thank you so much for listening in today. Today's episode is going to go over a very critical mindset around training, around lifting, around fitness, and that is the most important training set you can do. Okay? We're going to get to that in just a second, but real quick to give you a little more context about who I am and what the show is about if you're not familiar. My name is Harris. I run an online strength and habit coaching business called Coached by Harris, where I help everyday people find structure and clarity in their training and their nutrition and their lifestyle in all ways, right? We simplify and we focus on daily action. That's what I do with my clients. That's what I do with myself, and it works quite well. Couple things I can do to help you right now or anytime you're ready. I'll let you know a little bit more at the end of the episode. One, an email newsletter where I go over very actionable lessons that I work with my clients and myself. I share those for free. You can look in the show notes and you find out all about that. Second is a completely free FaceTime coaching session with me. If you haven't done one yet, I offer it to everybody. It's the same type of session that I'll do with clients, and it's a way to get a baseline of where your fitness is, where you want to go, and a little bit of a push forward. So again, look out for the info there, and I'll talk to you more at the end of the episode. Now, back to the topic, and that is the most important set you can do in your training. Oftentimes in the, absolute just rabbit hole of fitness information that you can find out there online in books, there's a lot of talk about, how many sets should you do for this movement, for this muscle group, for this training effect, how many days a week, what, this, and that. And while those questions can be important, right? Whether you do 2 sets or 4 sets or 3 on an exercise is going to make some kind of difference in that, micro moment, of course. But it's not nearly the right question to ask. The right question to ask is which set is the most important, and that answer is the first set, okay? Think about it this way. The difference between doing 0 sets and 1 set is 1, right? The difference between doing 1 set and 2 sets is also 1, right? It's the same difference, but it is not the same, okay? While the total number of sets is the same from 0 to 1 and 1 to 2, there is a massive, massive surge of difference from doing nothing to doing something, from 0 to 1, okay? Everything after is a, negligible difference. 2 sets, 3 sets, that's the finer weed stuff that I don't want you to focus on right now. If you're having trouble with consistency, if you're having trouble with taking action day after day in your training, focus on the most important set, the most important difference, and that is from 0 to 1, from nothing to something, okay? If you are wanting to build a habit with training and with anything else, and you're not doing the things at all or consistently, you need to just get to number 1. You need to get to something, regardless of how much you do, okay? An example. Today, I was in my apartment. I just came back from jiu-jitsu class. Granted, I was pretty fatigued because that was a very tough class, but I still wanted to do a little bit of lifting just so I would feel a little bit better, before I started my work day, so to speak. And I wasn't sure of, what to do, how to do as far as training, whether I would do a big workout, a medium workout, a small workout. But I knew that if I kept, wasting energy and time debating that, I wasn't going to do anything. And it was going to cause a lot of problems throughout the day. So instead, I said, I'm going to just do 1 set per main movement pattern, right? And side note, movement patterns: squat, hip hinge, so think deadlift, upper body push, and upper body pull. So for me today, I did a variation of a kettlebell deadlift, a kettlebell walking lunge, an overhead press, and a kettlebell row, right? So those are the movements. But I did 1 set for each. I didn't worry about doing a second set or a third or fourth or fifth even. I just did the one. And that one made all the difference in my day because that one set per movement was a very short workout, right? 10 minutes of heavy training. That one set was the difference between doing nothing and doing a heavy full body workout where I felt incredible after. Okay. If I wanted to do a second set or a third, that's something extra. And, that's another conversation. If that's relevant or if that's needed, it depends. But you get my point. Okay. Make the commitment to doing one set before anything else. And then we can talk about things to go from there. So I hope that's helpful. I hope you can take this lesson past, the surface level. Don't just think about this in terms of literal sets in fitness or just on a day-to-day basis. Realize the significance of what we're talking about. Going from 0 to 1 is the biggest, change you could possibly have happen with just a one-time shift. Okay? Every other thing after that is cherry on top. It's bonus. It's something else. But 0 to 1 is what I want you to focus on. If you want to be consistent, if you want to get momentum, if you want to start doing the things that you need to do to feel your best, to be your happiest, to be your most fulfilled, to be the best, strongest person that you can be, go from 0 to 1 in every area of your life and then see what happens. All right. Thank you so much for listening today. I'm going to give you a little bit more context into how I can help you further as I mentioned earlier in this episode, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. So again, 2 ways that I can specifically help you, all starting with a free component, very straightforward. One is an email newsletter. I know they're out there everywhere. You get tons of emails. Nobody wants more email for the sake of it. That's why I only want you to join this if you plan to take action. Okay. And I'm not saying you have to do every single thing I share. I know that's not realistic. I know there's a lot of information already. But the lessons that I share with you are very specific for a reason. They're things that my paying clients are learning, they're focusing on. It's not the fluff stuff. It's not the wasted stuff. It's the very specific stuff that you should focus on above all else. And me and my clients, we do a very, very, we put a lot of effort into working together to find these lessons and to make them stick. So get on that email newsletter. You can go on my website, coachbyharris.com. You can search the show notes if they're ready already. You can email me, harris@coachbyharris.com, if you just want me to help you get on that list, right there. If you're having any trouble, I'm happy to add you manually, and you'll be good to go from there. You'll get all the free content. You won't have to do a single thing but open, read, and execute. Okay. Second is a no strings attached complimentary FaceTime coaching session. 30 minutes, face-to-face, you and me, right? No gimmicks. It's private. It's custom. We're going to talk about what you want to talk about. We're going to train a little bit. We're going to go through some exercises. And really, whatever your goals are and what you're struggling with, we're going to assess that. And then I will talk you through what I think the best next steps are. And again, full transparency, because that's how I roll. I will talk to you about coaching. I will give you pricing options. I will give you the entire breakdown of the experience that is becoming a client of mine. If that's something you're into and you want to get started, wonderful. We can talk about it. If it's a good fit, we'll start right then and there. If it's not something that you are ready for at that time, fine, great. I don't push. That is what it is. I still will happily help you through the session because, like I said, it's fully no strings attached for you. And you will, of course, be able to stay on my email newsletter free forever and get those lessons that my clients are learning. Okay. So again, for any of these things, the complimentary coaching session and or the email newsletter, which to be honest, they go hand in hand, because if you do the session, you'll be on the newsletter. And if you join the newsletter, you'll have access to the session. So kind of just works as the same. You can email me, harris@coachbyharris.com, with a relevant subject line. I'll help you get set up for either of those, and or you can go on my website and get started. All right. Hope that was all helpful. Thank you so much for listening in today. I can't wait to talk to you in the next episode. Take care.